She was just a baby when Angelina Jolie adopted her. Now, 18 years later, you won't believe who she's become. From orphanages to red carpets, this young woman's transformation is nothing short of jaw-dropping. Raised under the spotlight by one of Hollywood's most iconic stars, her journey has taken unexpected turns, and fans are stunned by her latest reveal. So, where is she now, and what's she really like behind the cameras? Saved by Jolie. She was just 7 months old, her tiny body weakened from hunger, clinging to life in an overcrowded Ethiopian orphanage. In a country ranked among the poorest in the world, with over 4 million orphans today, Zahara was one of countless children abandoned to fate. Many like her sleep on streets, deprived of food, clean water, and education. For most, survival is the only dream, and even that slips away too often. Those who make it grow up collecting sugarcane or performing backbreaking labor, earning just enough to barely eat. The future? A hard, narrow road with little promise. At the time, Hollywood star Angelina Jolie was dating Brad Pitt, though they hadn't yet welcomed biological children. Jolie was already a mother to 3-year-old Maddox, adopted from Cambodia, and was widely known for her humanitarian work. She traveled to war-torn and impoverished regions, advocating for children's rights and offering aid on the ground. During one of those missions to Ethiopia, Jolie visited an orphanage, and that's where she found Zahara. The baby girl was severely malnourished. Jolie couldn't look away. Zahara's large, expressive eyes and frail condition pierced through the noise of the world around them. The moment was instant, emotional, human, undeniable. Jolie knew she had to act. She began the process to adopt the 6-month-old child, unaware that the story behind Zahara's abandonment was just as heartbreaking. Everyone at the time believed Zahara was a full orphan. Reports said her mother had died shortly after giving birth. Some sources claimed it was from post-birth bleeding, others from AIDS. Her father was unknown. The only family she had was her maternal grandmother, Alma Bluen, a 45-year-old woman raising 3 daughters in the sun-baked town of Awassa. Their home was a collapsing one-room shack. No electricity, no telephone, not even a proper roof. The walls were crumbling. A single burner sat outside, used for cooking meals in the open air. They had no other amenities, just survival. Alma had raised Zahara for the first 4 months of her life, but with only $9 a month to live on, she realized she couldn't keep the baby alive. Desperate and out of options, she made the agonizing choice to place her granddaughter in an orphanage, hoping that, at the very least, Zahara would get food and shelter. When Alma heard a famous American actress was adopting Zahara, she didn't object. She was relieved. She believed it was the best chance her granddaughter had. In some parts of the world, the most loving thing a parent or grandparent can do is let go. Zahara was one of the fortunate ones. Had she stayed in Ethiopia, she likely would have never gone to school, never learned to read or write. She would have grown up in a shack, working menial jobs for $1 a day. Scandal to strength. Zahara's destiny didn't just shift, it flipped the script entirely. After her adoption, she was brought to the United States by none other than Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Suddenly, the frail Ethiopian infant was waking up in a luxury mansion, surrounded by art, books, and a family that actually adored her. But while the headlines painted a picture of fairy tale rescue, Zahara's reality was far more complex. Brad Pitt legally became her adoptive father, and with that, she was given the double surname, Zahara Jolie Pitt. Her new parents loved her genuinely and deeply, but love couldn't protect her from the dark side of fame. From day one, the paparazzi were relentless, camped outside their gates, stalking Jolie and the baby girl with lenses longer than movie scripts. And then came the ugliest twist, a fabricated story claiming that the Jolie Pitt family planned to return Zahara to Ethiopia. Tabloids feasted on the poverty of her biological family, twisting the narrative into something cruel and false. reporters uncovered a truth no one had seen coming. Zahara's biological mother was alive. Her name, Mentewab Dawit. In a rare and painful interview, Mentewab revealed the truth behind Zahara's birth. She had become pregnant after being assaulted by a man she couldn't fight off. She didn't even know the identity of the father. In her culture, speaking about such trauma was taboo. Women are often blamed, while perpetrators vanish without consequences. She gave birth to Zahara at home, but quickly realized she had no way to raise her child. She handed the baby over to her own mother, Zahara's grandmother, hoping she'd survive. Zahara, meanwhile, blossomed inside a bustling, high-profile family. Jolie went on to adopt more children and have 3 biological ones, giving Zahara 5 siblings and an energetic global household. But in 2017, when Zahara turned 12, her biological mother publicly resurfaced once more, this time with a plea, "Please, just let me talk to my daughter." Family dynamics had shifted over the years, but one thing never changed: Angelina Jolie's commitment to keeping Zahara connected to her roots. Zahara's roots revisited. In 2009, Angelina Jolie boarded a flight with her 4-year-old daughter, Zahara Jolie Pitt, bound not for a film set or red carpet, but back to Ethiopia. It was Zahara's first time returning since her adoption, and for Jolie, this wasn't just a sentimental trip. It was personal. It was purposeful. According to a close family friend who spoke with People magazine, the trip had a powerful double mission: to help Zahara stay connected to her Ethiopian roots and to scout a location for a medical clinic in Zahara's name, dedicated to fighting AIDS and tuberculosis. This wasn't performative charity. It was an investment in legacy, a way to make Zahara's story mean something not just to her, but to others like her. Jolie has long made it a priority to keep Zahara tethered to her heritage, and that effort extends to every child in the Jolie Pitt clan. As revealed in a 2015 Vogue profile, Angelina regularly takes her family on global trips to Europe, Asia, Africa, ensuring that each child gets the chance to learn not just about their own cultural background, but also their siblings. With 2 of Zahara's stepbrothers born in Southeast Asia, these journeys have turned into living classrooms, deep, textured, real. By 2021, during a Time 100 talk, Angelina spoke publicly once more about her daughter, not just as family, but as something even more powerful. She described Zahara as an extraordinary African woman, acknowledging the deep and personal bond Zahara holds with her homeland. It's a connection Angelina said she could only admire from afar, because it's not hers. It belongs to Zahara. Zahara's golden childhood. Before she could even walk steadily, Zahara Jolie Pitt was already circling the globe. Her early years weren't spent in a quiet nursery. They were a whirlwind of continents, cameras, and culture. While most toddlers her age were discovering sippy cups, Zahara was discovering Paris, Tokyo, and Mumbai by the side of 2 of the world's most famous people. At just 10 months old, in November 2005, Zahara took her first international flight to Tokyo. Cradled in Brad Pitt's arms, with Angelina Jolie close behind holding her big brother Maddox, the baby girl made her debut on foreign soil during the Mr. and Mrs. Smith promotional tour. That single snapshot of Brad gently holding her was more than a publicity moment. It was the beginning of Zahara's global journey. From Japan, the family jetted off to France, where the trio was seen enjoying the peaceful parks of Paris, soaking in fleeting moments of family life in between the chaos of celebrity. By the following year, Zahara was in India, perched on her father's lap during a serene boat ride, an experience that surely left more than just vacation photos. For a child born in hardship, this new world of sensory richness and security was something out of a dream. By 2011, Zahara was 6, and already showing signs of elegance far beyond her years. Slender and graceful, she reached up to her mother's waist, often seen walking hand in hand with Angelina during quiet mother-daughter outings. Though nearly a year and a half older than her sister Shiloh, Zahara appeared slightly shorter but no less poised. That September, Angelina took her two eldest daughters on a special London outing, ear-piercing. It was meant to be a sweet bonding moment. Zahara, ever the brave one, volunteered to go first, selecting a pair of elegant gold studs. But the second the piercing gun touched her ear, her composure cracked. The sudden pain brought tears, catching everyone off guard. Shiloh, watching her sister wince, instantly backed out. The moment, though small, spoke volumes. Two little girls, bonded by sisterhood and empathy, learning together that sometimes even the prettiest things come with a pinch. Did you enjoy Zahara's journey? Give us a like if this video inspired you. Zahara's dream wedding. By 2012, Zahara and her siblings had begun voicing a simple, heartfelt desire. They wanted their parents to make it official. During a candid sit-down with CBS News that January, Brad Pitt admitted the truth. He and Angelina were feeling the pressure. The children, now old enough to notice, had begun comparing their family dynamic to those of their friends, asking the tough questions only kids can. Why aren't you married like everyone else's parents? 3 months later, in April 2012, Brad and Angelina announced their engagement. And just 2 years after that, in August 2014, they said "I do" in a private, deeply personal ceremony in France. Zahara was 9, just shy of her 10th birthday, and ready for her Flower Girl debut. The wedding was anything but traditional. It was intimate, meaningful, and soaked in family. Jolie walked down the aisle in a custom gown adorned with her children's drawings. Scribbles and sketches turned couture. Each child had a role, and Zahara, alongside her 6-year-old sister Vivian, scattered flower petals down the aisle. It wasn't just a wedding, it was a celebration of the family they'd already built. By then, Zahara had grown tall, nearly eye level with Angelina, even with her mom wearing high-heeled boots during a November outing that same year. But despite her elegance and presence, it was already clear that she'd probably remain slightly shorter than her younger sister Shiloh. Still, her poise was unmistakable. For Brad Pitt, the wedding wasn't just a personal commitment. It was a response to the voices that mattered most. It was such a lovely day, he later shared, and seeing it all through their eyes made it that much more meaningful. Zahara got the wedding she wished for, not just for her parents, but for the family as a whole. A moment of unity, designed by the ones who needed it most. Soccer, screen and sparkle. Around this time, Zahara and her younger sister Shiloh discovered something that brought them even closer. Soccer. What began as playful backyard games turned into a shared passion, often spilling into spirited, full-on matches. Their bond over the sport brought a new kind of energy to the Jolie Pitt household, one rooted in joy, teamwork, and good old-fashioned sibling rivalry. By 2015, it wasn't just a hobby, it was a family event. Zahara and Shiloh were frequently spotted chasing the ball across local fields, while Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt cheered them on from the sidelines. One particularly touching moment came in May of that year, when the cameras caught Brad stealing a gentle kiss from Angelina as they watched their girls play. Two superstar parents, momentarily just mom and dad. For Jolie, those soccer games weren't just wholesome afternoons. They were a lifeline. In March 2015, she opened up in the New York Times about her decision to undergo cancer testing and the subsequent preventative removal of her ovaries. It was a difficult, emotional chapter, but watching her children sprint across green fields gave her moments of normalcy and peace during uncertain times. While Zahara was carving out her place in the family on the field, she also dipped her toes into the world of film. In 2016, she voiced the character Meng Meng, one of the chaotic baby pandas, in Kung Fu Panda 3. Before that, she had small, uncredited roles, including a cameo in Maleficent 2014, starring her mom, and an appearance as herself in VH1's All Access back in 2006. Though her screen time has been minimal, fans still wonder, will Zahara follow in her parents' Oscar-winning footsteps? In 2019, Zahara made a dazzling entrance into a different spotlight: fashion and philanthropy. Partnering with famed jeweler Robert Prokop, she launched the Zahara Collection, a fine jewelry line that debuted at select Saks Fifth Avenue stores in the US and Australia. Her designs were bold, elegant, and deeply personal. She premiered the line in unforgettable fashion, walking the red carpet at the Maleficent Mistress of Evil premiere wearing her own creations. Zahara stunned in dangling 3-stone earrings, a sleek 18-karat gold ring, and a delicate bracelet, all from her own line. But it wasn't just about glam. It was about giving back. In true Jolie spirit, Zahara made sure proceeds from her collection supported charitable causes, blending beauty with purpose. Grace under pressure. By 2019, the fairy tale had unraveled. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt finalized their legal separation that year, marking the end of an era for one of Hollywood's most iconic families. For Zahara Jolie Pitt, now 14, it was a period of change, challenge, and quiet evolution. The custody battle between Jolie and Pitt dragged on, tangled in legal motions and emotional weight. Disputes over parenting time and family logistics became the new normal. In May 2021, a judge granted Pitt increased time with the children. A decision quickly reversed 2 months later when the judge was disqualified from the case altogether. The back and forth left the children, Zahara included, stuck in limbo. Pitt voiced concern for their emotional well-being, emphasizing how instability could take its toll. But Zahara, ever composed, seemed to carry herself with a kind of quiet resilience. She was growing up amidst lawyers, tabloids, and transition, and handling it with the grace of someone far beyond her years. At 14, Zahara wasn't just a teenager navigating adolescence. She was a young woman standing tall in the eye of a storm, stylish, strong, and steadily finding her way. Style. With elegance and quiet strength, Zahara Jolie Pitt is stepping into a world she's helping redefine. Together with her mother, Angelina Jolie, Zahara isn't just talking about change, she's designing it. Their creative partnership took shape in Atelier Jolie, a bold fashion house rooted in ethics, artistry, and upcycling. Headquartered at 57 Great Jones Street in Manhattan, once home to legends like Andy Warhol and Jean-Michel Basquiat, the space holds history, edge, and now, Zahara's growing influence. According to Angelina, the location wasn't just randomly chosen, it was a joint decision between mother and daughter. As Atelier Jolie gains momentum, Zahara's role is no longer behind the scenes. In a rare behind-the-curtain glimpse captured by Vogue, Zahara and Angelina are seen side by side, studying fabric swatches, modeling upcycled pieces, and consulting artisans. It's not just about style, it's about intention. Both Zahara and her older brother Pax have even contributed to design work, including personal creations and feedback on branding. Pax helped refine the Atelier Jolie logo, while Zahara's voice shaped something even more meaningful: inclusivity. She advocated for expanding the brand's nude slip dress line to better reflect a diverse range of skin tones, a suggestion rooted in her own experience. Sisterhood. But Zahara isn't just an artistic visionary, she's also a devoted sister. Her bond with Shiloh Jolie Pitt runs deep. While all the Jolie Pitt siblings are famously close, there's something particularly magnetic about the connection between Zahara and Shiloh. They share a language of their own, sometimes through fashion, sometimes through play, always through loyalty. Shiloh often looks to Zahara for fashion guidance, and the two are frequently photographed side by side, trading smiles or sharing whispers that suggest a closeness beyond the cameras. Whether it's a quick shopping trip or simply standing shoulder to shoulder at an event, they move like natural allies, supportive, synchronized. That bond was never clearer than in 2020, when both sisters underwent surgeries. During their respective recovery periods, they took turns caring for each other. No press, no headlines, just pure sisterly love. It's the kind of bond that survives spotlight glare and legal turbulence. It's the kind that lasts. Zahara in bloom. By 2021, Zahara Jolie Pitt was no stranger to the red carpet. But this time, she made it personal. At the premiere of Eternals, Zahara stunned the world by stepping out in a piece of family fashion history. Her mother's shimmering silver Elie Saab couture gown from the 2014 Oscars. Once worn by Angelina Jolie at the height of her Hollywood reign, the gown was reborn on Zahara, graceful, radiant, and completely her own. It was more than a vintage moment. It was a statement. A seamless blend of legacy and individuality, Zahara's appearance turned heads not only for the glamour, but for the quiet power behind it. She wasn't just borrowing a dress, she was reinterpreting it. Her elegance and fashion intuition sparked renewed talk. Would Zahara enter the fashion world full-time? Her poised presence, coupled with her known passion for style, had already made her a favorite among fashion watchers. And with whispers that she'd been learning French during the pandemic, fashion's favorite second language, rumors swirled about what might come next. Then, in July 2022, Zahara made her biggest debut yet. Not on a red carpet, but on a college campus. Angelina Jolie announced that her daughter would be attending Spelman College, the prestigious historically black women's college in Atlanta. She shared a photo of Zahara surrounded by fellow incoming freshmen, proudly referring to them as her Spelman sisters. The pride was palpable and shared by both parents. At the Bullet Train premiere, Brad Pitt was visibly emotional when asked about his daughter's milestone. "So beautiful," he said softly, overwhelmed by the weight of the moment. As move-in day arrived, Angelina accompanied Zahara to campus, where they were greeted with warmth and celebration. College President Dr. Helene Gale and the Vice President of Student Affairs welcomed them personally, treating the moment not as a celebrity drop-off, but as a family entering a community. A short clip of the visit showed Jolie, glowing with pride, being asked how it felt to be a Spelman mom. She tried to hold back tears. "I'm going to start crying," she confessed, her voice breaking with joy. Zahara takes a stand. In December 2022, Zahara Jolie Pitt joined her mother, Angelina Jolie, on a powerful two-day trip to Washington, D.C., not as a celebrity daughter, but as a young advocate with a mission. The mother-daughter duo arrived in the nation's capital to champion the rights of crime victims, lending their voices to support the Justice for All Reauthorization Act of 2022. The proposed legislation aimed to guarantee victims access to critical resources, including official reports and evidence of abuse, tools that too often get lost in the bureaucracy of the system. Together, Zahara and Angelina met with lawmakers, members of Congress, and representatives from the White House, calling attention to the gaps in the legal system and pushing for meaningful reform. Zahara, still a college student, stood beside her mother with the quiet conviction of someone who wasn't there to be seen. She was there to be heard. But this wasn't Zahara's first time advocating in Washington. The year before, she had already walked those same Capitol steps in support of the Violence Against Women Act. In those meetings, Zahara and Angelina engaged in discussions with politicians and grassroots organizers alike, amplifying the need for comprehensive protections for survivors of violence. They spoke not just as public figures, but as women, daughters, mothers, allies. After the 2022 trip, Angelina took to social media to reflect on the experience, posting photos of the two of them mid-meeting, mid-mission. In the caption, she wrote with pride and urgency, emphasizing their ongoing commitment to strengthening protections for survivors, including children, communities of color, indigenous tribes, LGBTQ+ individuals, and rural populations often left behind by mainstream policy. Zahara's passion for advocacy isn't borrowed. It's inherited, nurtured, and now self-directed. Her presence in Washington signaled a shift from supporting her mother's mission to shaping her own. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about Zahara Jolie and other inspiring voices redefining what it means to grow up in the spotlight.